Hi, I'm Gracelyn Frederick and I'm the director of GCH. GCH stands for Grace Children's Home. It's a charity, a registered charity here in St Vincent and the Grenadines. GCH looks at serving the community. The charity serves the community. Currently we're running a number of after-school clubs around the island. We first started a pilot club in Spring Village, North Leeward, and that club was to teach children basically how to read. We formed it as an after-school club because we decided that we could incorporate helping children with homework, just following their formulas, their basic homework, exactly what they had, helping them to read, but looking at a different structure in terms of how they're reading. And the structure that was put together was looking at phonics and looking at certain ways of teaching a child to read, reading along with the child, looking at peer reading, where we would put children together so that they can learn from each other, because as they do, and we would put one who was at a particular level and then one maybe at a slightly higher level, and so the one at the lower level will have the strength from the other one in terms of reading, and that's what we classify as peer reading. Also, we looked at introducing phonics, and last year we didn't actually have any equipment to teach them with phonics, but we made some flip cards and we made our own alphabet cards. And so we went ahead and we started using phonics sounds to teach children to read. This year we received funding, and that funding was for 3 clubs, and we were able to have a club in Spring Village, North Leeward, in the primary school, Trumica Secondary School, and Duboris Primary School in Bookament. Those clubs are currently running, and they're running now. We run them exactly the same. We start off with homework. We then do the reading, and as I said, the reading is the biggest aspect, and then we do an activity, and the activity is either drama, dance, or some form of activity to look at building their confidence. For example, Spring Village, we would look at doing reading, where they would read to the group, present what they've learnt, as well as doing drama. Now, currently, the reading that we do, we are using a lot of tools. We are using flip charts, which have the vowels, consonants and blends, lots of different blends to help children build up their reading using phonics. We also have phonics sounds, CDs. We have CDs provided, which we purchased, of course, and we have something called CVC words, picture words, and these are for children who are unable to pronounce their phonics or understand what sound a particular word makes. And they're very useful. They help the children in terms of not becoming bored when it comes to learning. Children have a lot of fun at the clubs. The clubs run just for 2 hours, and the reading period is 20 minutes. It can go on for a bit longer if there's no homework. Children tend to enjoy it very much. Our funds this year came from the Canadian Fund for Local Initiatives, and with their funding we was able to obtain equipment. And I believe that this equipment is most of the things that I've spoken about, as well as books. And I believe that the clubs will be able to continue sustaining these clubs. We want them to continue running after the funding's expired. And also I would advise people to look at creating their own clubs themselves, to see what they've got, put their resources together. And as I said, you can make simple alphabet cards in terms of when you're looking at the words, that each individual letter, when you're looking at your vowels, your A, E, I, O, U, you can make those little cards. We have a structure that you can follow. It's available to anybody who asks for it. You would need to contact us via the website. And it's, as I said, it's available to anyone who's asked for it. And certainly I would advise you on how to go about putting your little reading group together. I'm not suggesting that you do an after school club with the homework and the other activities and, you know, get lots of people involved. But what I am suggesting you do is look at bringing up the reading level amongst the children in your community. You can have 3 children together, you have 4 together, and just look at perhaps doing reading on the porch, for example.
My name's Jennifer Ewart, and I was a Peace Corps in Spring Village, Leeward. I helped Grace Children's Home with their pilot project, which was the after-school program. And it was really the first project that they were doing in St. Vincent, and the director, Graceland, approached me and asked me if I'd be willing to come on board and help with this exciting new project in Spring Village. And I thought it was a great idea for the after-school club to help with homework and reading, promote literacy. It was exactly along the lines of what I was doing already in spring. I was already at the school tutoring children and helping in the library. So I assisted in helping with the application for funding, and we chose children. The club only had about 30 kids, but it was a great group, and the community was excited. The children were very excited. They would come up to me after school all the time and ask if they could join the club, and it started last year in February, and it was very successful, and so they continued the club. It's still going on in spring and have expanded to other communities around the island. And I was very excited to be part of the program and feel that the community was very grateful for it, that it was really benefiting the kids to get extra reading after school and in a fun environment. It wasn't just school every day. It was still happening at the school, but it was after school. There were other activities. There were help with homework, and they were really excited about it. So I felt it was a great project, and I was really glad to be part of it. The initial project, the pilot project, started in February and ran through July. It was It was great that it was a long project, that we had the same students, most of the same students, the entire 6 months. And we saw great improvements with ones that we were working with on their reading levels and their completing homework and things. The program is still going on in Spring Village and has expanded around the island. We're hoping to expand even more, from what I understand, and are looking for volunteers if anyone has time or an experience working with children, maybe teachers, retirees, or teachers who just finished Teachers College. If they want to come and volunteer, that would be great. You could find the contact information at gchsvg.com is the website, and go there, contact us, and get more information, get involved. That would be great.
One of the really important things is reading for the future and reading to alleviate poverty, how I see it. Reading can lead to so many different things in your future. It's so important to start the children from reading at a very early age. We've seen that with the children that we've got. We can compare the children. We can compare our younger children to our older children. Even our 12-year-olds who are reading some of the same books as our 7, 8 and 9-year-olds. And we can see that our 7, 8 and 9-year-olds are learning a lot quicker. They may not be able to read at the same level, but they are actually picking it up a lot quicker. We do have some older teenagers who are unable to read at the same level as our younger ones, and they are just taking a lot longer to pick up what we are teaching, to remember the phonics, to retain everything. And so really we do see that the young children are picking it up very quickly, and I would really encourage the parents and guardians to help the children to read, even if there's only a small number of books between children. Once you've got them together, you can put your little reading groups together. We can give you a structure. They only need to read for 20 minutes every day. Obviously, they need to learn the phonics. They need to understand the sounds in order for them to start reading. But you start off with basic books. Once they start off with basic books, they move on. And if you've got other children in the community, let's say you've got little groups of 3 and 4, and one can read better than the other, then you get them to help each other. And that's what we call peer reading. Reading is so important. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're looking at farming or fishing. You still need to learn to read.